Planning a European adventure in 2025? Well, you might want to hit pause on that booking because there are some major changes coming that could affect your travel plans. I'm talking about new systems, fees, and requirements that every traveler needs to know about. Stick around until the end because I'm sharing some insider tips that could save you both time and money. Number 1. ETIAS. Let's talk about the first major change hitting Europe, ETIAS. Think of it as Europe's version of bouncer at a club, but instead of judging your shoes, it just wants €7 and some basic information. Starting 2025, if you're heading to any Schengen country, you'll need to get this new travel authorization before your trip. Here's the deal. It's a quick online application that costs €7, but only if you're between 18 and 70. I guess Europe figured seniors and teenagers have already suffered enough. Once approved, you're good to go for 3 years, or until your passport expires, whichever comes first. But let me share a pro tip from someone who's learned the hard way. Don't wait until the last minute to apply. Sure, it's all digital and modern, but technology has a funny way of knowing exactly when you're in a hurry. And trust me, frantically refreshing your email the night before your flight is not the kind of pre-travel workout you want. Number 2. Entry-Exit System. Alright, passport stamp collectors, I've got some bad news. Europe's going digital with their new entry-exit system in May 2025. It's like they looked at those charming passport stamps and said, nah, let's make it more like a Netflix watch history, but for border crossings. Instead of that satisfying thump of a stamp in your passport, everything's going electronic. The system will track when you enter and leave the Schengen area automatically. Think of it as Europe's way of saying, we know exactly how long you've been crashing on our couch. And here's the fun part. It's going to catch overstays faster than your phone catches you stalking your ex on social media. No more creative math with those 90-day tourist stays. The system knows all, sees all, and definitely won't buy your "I lost track of time" excuse. If you're finding this information helpful in planning your future travels, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Drop a comment below letting us know which country you're planning to visit in 2025. I'd love to hear about your travel plans. Number 3. UKs New ETA. So the UK decided to join the digital party with their own electronic travel authorization starting January 8th, 2025. It's like they saw the EU doing their thing and thought, hold my tea, we can do that too. For just $13, which is basically the cost of a sandwich in London these days, you'll get a 2-year pass to enter the UK. And yes, you'll need this whether you're planning to hunt for the Loch Ness Monster or just killing time at Heathrow Airport during a layover. Here's the kicker. This applies to everyone who used to waltz in with just a passport, including Americans and Europeans. Think of it as the UK's way of saying, we still want you to visit, we just want to know about it first. Number 4. Digital boarding passes. Alright, let's talk about something that's going to make some of you very happy and others, well, let's just say change isn't always easy. Physical boarding passes are going the way of the dinosaurs, folks. Airlines are making the big push to go completely digital in 2025, and Ryanair is leading the charge by saying goodbye to paper boarding passes entirely by May. Think about it. No more of that panicked pat down at security when you can't remember which pocket you stuffed your boarding pass into. Everything's going to be right there on your phone. Sounds great, right? Well, until your phone decides to do that thing where it dies at 20% battery. Yeah, we've all been there. This is why portable chargers are about to become as essential for travel as underwear. But here's the real talk. This digital transition isn't just about airlines trying to save trees or look cool. It's about efficiency. No more lines at the check-in counter just to print a piece of paper that you'll probably end up using as an impromptu bookmark. Although I have to admit, there was something satisfying about that crisp, freshly printed boarding pass. Pour one out for our paper friends, they served us well. Number 5. Tourist taxes. Now, let's talk about something that's going to hit your wallet. New tourist taxes in Europe. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but some of your favorite European destinations are about to get a bit more expensive in 2025. Cities like Amsterdam, Barcelona, and Venice have decided that if you want to take selfies with their canals and historic buildings, you're going to have to chip in a bit more for the privilege. And Venice? Oh, Venice is taking it to a whole new level. They're not just implementing a tourist tax, they're basically turning the city into a theme park with an entrance fee. I mean, I get it. The city is literally sinking under the weight of tourism, but it's still a bit wild to think you'll need to pay just to walk around and get lost in those beautiful maze-like streets. Though getting lost in Venice is half the fun, right? At least now you can say you paid for that experience. Here's a travel hack that nobody talks about enough. consider visiting some of the lesser-known cities nearby these tourist hotspots. Not only will you save some money on these new taxes, but you'll also get a more authentic experience. Plus, you get to be that person who comes back home and says things like, "Oh, Venice is nice, but have you been to Trieste?" Instant travel street cred. Number 6. Schengen Expansion. Here's some exciting news that's flying under the radar. Romania and Bulgaria are finally joining the Schengen Club in 2025. I know, some of you might be thinking, cool, but what does that mean for me? Well, let me tell you, this is actually pretty huge for anyone planning to explore Eastern Europe. Picture this. You're in Vienna, sipping your morning coffee when you suddenly decide you want to check out Bucharest's incredible architecture. Before 2025, you'd have had to deal with passport control and potentially long queues at the border. But now, you can just hop on a train or plane and breeze right through. It's like they've torn down an invisible wall, making your European adventure just that much smoother. And let me tell you something about these countries that most travel influencers won't mention. They're absolute gems that your wallet will thank you for visiting. While everyone else is emptying their bank accounts in Paris or Rome, you could be exploring Bulgaria's stunning Black Sea coast or wandering through Romania's medieval castles at a fraction of the cost. Trust me, 2025 is the year to visit these countries before everyone else discovers them. Number 7. Real ID for US travelers. Now, for my American friends, here's something you absolutely need to know about, even if you're just planning to fly to Florida to visit grandma before your big European adventure. Starting May 2025, the US is finally getting serious about this Real ID thing. And no, this isn't just another one of those coming soon warnings we've been hearing about for years. This time, it's actually happening. Here's the deal. If you want to fly anywhere within the US, your old driver's license might not cut it anymore. You're going to need either a Real ID compliant license, you know, the one with the little star on it, or you'll need to bring your passport. I can already hear some of you saying, but I've been flying with my regular license for years. Well, 2025 is saying, new phone who dis, to your old ID. And let's be real for a second. This is especially important if you're planning a multi-leg journey to Europe. Imagine this nightmare scenario. You're all packed for your dream European vacation, but you can't even make it to your international departure airport because your domestic flight won't accept your ID. That's like getting ready for a date and tripping over your shoelaces before you even leave the house. So do yourself a favor and get that Real ID sorted out early. And if you want to learn more about these new requirements, check out my detailed video on new TSA rules for 2025. It covers everything you need to know to breeze through security this year. Until next time, safe travels.